Well, hello everyone. This is Spiritual Teacher for You. Welcome to the beginning of the rest of your life. Today's February 17th. Of course, I had to come on here and do a reading. Red herring? This is how this energy works, yeah. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about with welcome to the beginning of the rest of your life is today marks the beginning of the new year according to Chinese culture and beliefs. And we're entering, today is the first day of the year of the fire horse. So I just wanted to come on here and see what energy comes forward, see what advice our team, our guides, our angels are wanting to give us for this energy. I also felt strongly to come on here raw with you guys. No makeup, no jewelry. Done nothing with my hair. Honestly, I had on a tank top and I had to throw this shirt over it to be a little more appropriate. So let's just fill in. I grabbed my tarot cards. I'm feeling like I want to get a different set though. I'm going to get my little deck here. Actually, they're wanting me to get a bunch of tarot cards. What is this energy? Okay, bear with me, y'all, as I search for these different decks that I have. Ooh, that's what I need to do. Just put all my tarot cards in one drawer. I have yet to organize them. Okay, what else? What else? I'm going to pause for this, okay? Well, this is going to be interesting. I have one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 decks here. And I feel like I heard ask a different question with each deck. So we'll just see where this goes. I'm genuinely trusting the energy here. And we'll see what comes out. Right now, I'm just trying to organize them so I have somewhere to actually draw the cards. They want me to start with this purple deck. So we'll just start general and like overall, and we'll work our way in. And that's kind of the energy I feel them suggesting for you is start big picture and then you'll get into the details. Interesting. Yeah, it's like they don't want you to worry about the details right now. Get the overall grand picture or grand goal, and then we'll worry about the details. If you can tell that I keep pausing the video, it's because I'm coughing and I really don't want the video to be filled with coughing. All right. I was reminded to make sure that my deck was upright, so make sure you got your ducks in a row. And let's just clear the air. Let's do some bell dinging here for this new year. We're gonna ding my bell. I love that bell. And we're gonna light some incense and some sage. Just to kind of like what you would do to bring in the new year in a traditional way. I feel like we're pulling out all the accoutrements here to celebrate 422 on the timer. I love sage. And then we'll get out. We're going to spray some chakra balancing spray. And then we're going to, what's this one? Room clearing spray. We're going to light our incense here. And this feels like the reason they're wanting me to show you is like they're encouraging you to do something kind of similar for yourself. To bring in this new life, this new energy, this new year. And they want me to light the candle that's behind me. So this is all part of the message. Light it up, light it up. Sorry, okay. And now, cheers, friends. Clink, clink. Butterfly. Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow. Honestly, that felt like a message as I was saying, take a look. It's in a book. So there's something, I think, some very good knowledge that you're seeking, possibly that you'll find in a book, a physical book. So yeah, that's exciting. There's something here about books and learning and knowledge. Okay, so my question to this was general overarching, and what we got here is the 9 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. Hello. Oh, what a beautiful life. It's like, did I not say ducks in a row? Getting your ducks in a row. It's like getting your cups ready to be filled, to be fulfilled. This is legendary generational wealth, abundance coming in. And Queen of Wands, I just see as this beautiful, magical being. And not one to be messed with either. You don't want to mess with the Queen of Wands. She knows how to use energy. She's also a woman of integrity, though. So, okay, we've got the Devil, Page of Cups, and the 8 of Swords. This energy feels way different than the energy from above. So this feels like the Shadowland. Okay, now I see. We've got when you're up on top, and then when you're low down here. The Devil, the Page of Cups, the 8 of Swords. The Devil is distractions. The Page of Cups is romanticizing. In this aspect, this is what I feel is that it's romanticizing, or it's fantasizing. What are you? Your emotions are caught in between your temptations and your self-doubt with this 8 of Swords. Self-sabotage is what I hear. So your emotions are caught down here. I'm getting in your intuition, that fish. There's something to be learned here down in this Shadowland. There's something to be learned here about your emotions, about which wolf will you feed, about what thoughts you're going to feed with more energy. Thoughts of abundance or thoughts of distraction, drowning, self-doubt, fear. Okay, I'm going to put that to the side for now. All right, what I want to know now is what is in this, what's the middle? I feel this is the up, this is the down. What's the middle? And this card came out, Four of Cups is a card of, gosh, I sound like I'm doubting. So there's that doubt. But the Four of Cups is a card of not realizing what you fully have. Still looking for, or still very focused. Yeah, you're very focused on these distractions and this fear and self-doubt still. And it's like, how do you want to wake up to your new life? Still distracted by these things? Let's see what's in the middle again. What's in the middle? When I put it in the middle, it's kind of forming like a checkerboard or like a chessboard. And it feels like that is part of the message. When you think about playing chess or checkers, there's a lot of strategy involved. There's a lot of thinking ahead a few moves. The greatest player in the world, who I used to be obsessed with and knew his name, and now his name's not even coming to me. How frickin' crazy. I'm so ashamed of myself. Anyways, I could look it up, but that's not what's important. What's important is that he plays intuitively a lot. He admits that he plays intuitively. So that's why he can play super fast. Well, not only does he have like every move in the book memorized, but but he also plays intuitively. So combined with his knowledge and his willingness to be open to just going by intuition, he's a grandmaster. The Probably the best chess player in the world, and I can't remember his name. God dang it. It's driving me crazy. Anyways, so we do have a queen and a king, and we have a knight on the table here. So very, very reminiscent of chess. Chess being there's a lot of pawns. There's pawns. Pawns can win you the game, though. Pawns can easily win you the game if you use them correctly. So a lot of people look at pawns as like in the way, or just, kind of something you got to get through, when really they can be the plan to destroy your opponent. So it's like, don't discount the little guy for what he or she can do in your life. I feel like this is showing up as like just that person who comes into your life for a split second and says the thing that you need to hear. Yeah. So what's happening in the middle here, guys, is you've been slowly, through your knowledge of energy, through the knowledge of your magic, your power, you are slowly, that Knight of Pentacles energy is slow. Like I'm feeling even like, it's a very slow and subtle energy of really mastering your emotions to work in your favor. At this point, the King of Cups is out front here. This is mastery of your intuition. Just like, I'm hoping his name comes. It's like it was about to come out and then it went away. Just like how he uses his intuition along with his knowledge and wisdom. That's what this King of Cups is telling me. You have a wide breadth of knowledge and experience, and you have spent time observing. Okay, so I'm looking at this Four of Cups a little differently. You've spent time observing all these lower cups here. It's not that you're ignoring what's coming in. It's just that you are going, I see you, I acknowledge you. Now is not the right time. I still have something to learn from the shadow world. I still have something to learn from my emotions that are being triggered by some of these, just lower vibing emotions. And so it's not and that's this coming in here. That's not being given to you. That's you handing yourself this, going, okay, it's here when you're ready. It's here when you're ready. So there's like no pressure here at all. It's like you've got something to do and you're going to do it. And then when you do that, then this mastery comes in. So you're learning through your experiences. You're learning how you feel about certain energies in your life, and you're deciding how it is affecting you long term. Okay. So that's the grand overall energy I feel here is this is chess and you are inching your way towards winning the game, but you are observing how different energies affect you. The knight, the pawns, and I'm looking at the pawns as random people you meet in your life. I'm looking at the knights as like, relationships in your life. I'm looking at the bishops as kind of the Hierophant, like this spiritual connection, wisdom from the spirit world. What else is there? Knights, bishops. Oh my God. I love chess, and I played it so hard for so long. And now that I haven't played it in so long, I'm so rusty. So there's definitely the energy here of, some things. I mean, it's just like if you don't use it, you lose it. So there is something here about if you want something to grow, you've got to put energy into nurturing that thing to grow. Something I told my husband this morning, and it's kind of hard to get my point across, so hopefully Spirit will help me here. I got him for Christmas a wallet that it's engraved, and it's the upgraded, newer version of the wallet I gave him when we first got together. And I etched, "I want to grow old with you" on the first wallet. And then on the second one, I said, "I want to keep growing old with you," or something like that. And yesterday, I was just in like a daisy kind of state, and like that twilight state when you're trying to take a nap but you're still aware of your surroundings. So I heard, "I don't want to grow old with him. I want to grow love with him. I want to grow freedom with him. I want to grow abundance with him," And it's like, so this morning I told him, I was like, "I don't want to grow old with you. I want to grow love with you. I want to grow freedom with you," and everything. And he understood the sentiment, but it didn't come quite off. It didn't come off as romantic as I thought it was going to. "I don't want to grow old with you. I want to grow love with you." So anyways, all right, moving on. We spent quite a while on that deck. That was the overarching energy is moving forward, mastering your emotions, observing, knowing when you're ready, listening to your body. All right, they want me to get my deck of cards here. Let's see what question. So, what question do we want to ask? What are we heading towards in this new year? Yeah, what are we heading towards in this new year? I'm getting like excitement. You heard that crazy laugh that came out there. Like unhinged laughter. Okay, let's see here. Oh, almost ready to hatch. Okay. Oh, I didn't even show you. Your eggs are almost ready to hatch. Ooh, eggs. I've been getting eggs lately. There was a cave of eggs that Mary Magdalene went into? I don't know the whole story there. So if you know about it, let me know. It relates here, though. The cave of eggs. All right, let's see what we can tune in about the cave of eggs. They weren't actually eggs. It was like holes in a cave. Caves represent our subconscious. So what's lying in our subconscious? What's almost ready to hatch from our subconscious? What are we about to remember, you guys? What are we about to remember? What is almost ready to hatch? Trust fall came out. Of course, we're being asked to trust in the fall. Okay, so there's a descent here. Almost ready to hatch. So there's a descent here into our subconscious, into ourselves. And they're asking you to trust it. 111, that's the Empress number there. But you also may be seeing, numbers syncing up. I'm also being very drawn to this stone, which if you leave it out in the sun, it will glow. And does this not look like an egg? And we're watching the Game of Thrones Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and one of the main characters' name is Egg. Come on, all the synchronicities. I'm also noticed that this copper bracelet was laying over the egg. And now I'm being drawn to my Moldavite. So 2121 on the timer, you guys. As I pull out the synchronicity card, in comes all these synchronicities. So it's like when you're open to paying attention, the signs are there. The signs are there. And people go, oh, it's just a coincidence. Oh, I'm looking too much into it. Oh, I'm putting meaning where there isn't any. People say that because they can't fathom that every little thing that happens is for a reason or has a meaning behind it. Well, I'm here to tell you the energy I feel is that everything has a meaning behind it. So let people roll them eyes. Let people think you're crazy. You know if it's too much. You know when you're hitting a wall in your thinking because you're like, I don't know what this means. And then you have to give up for a second and it'll come in. But this is also the number of beginning, of rebirth, of spiritual guidance, and it's a number. Just pay attention. When you see synchronicities, pay attention to what's happening around you. I'm getting a download that whatever you see that is a synchronicity is meant to be in that moment, and you are to notice what is happening around you in that moment. If you're driving, what color are the cars? What vehicle are you in? Are you driving or are you riding? What's your surroundings? These are all clues, we'll call them, to something that Spirit wants you to pay attention to. What was just said on the radio? What is the conversation that you're currently having? Who are you with? These are details they're wanting you to pay attention to. Everything that we are observing on a daily gets entered into our subconscious. So they're wanting you to pay attention to the details, because even if you don't understand, they just want you to notice. Oh, big message here. You don't have to figure out the meaning right then and there. They just want you to pay attention to dock, cement the details in your mind, because they're going into your subconscious, and that is doing something for the future. That is doing something that you're not fully aware of. It's like part of the puzzle. Okay? Mushroom energy. Mushroom energy. Sorry. I got so happy when that came out. I forgot that I drew this card, and I just freaking love it. Mushroom energy, man. I've been putting a tincture in my coffee every morning. No taste, does not change the coffee at all. And it has like 7 different kinds of mushrooms in it. Yeah, I will forever be a proponent of mushrooms in all capacities. Unconditional love. Um, there's more to the mushroom energy, but it feels like it's going to come in a second. Be honest with yourself. Okay. So, in this rebirth, this new beginning, what I feel is that you are entering a life of unconditional love. And I think the reason we don't even think that exists is because how can you love someone who does heinous things, right? How can you possibly love someone who chooses to act in an evil way over and over again, right? So there's something here about being honest with yourself. I don't know, there's something here about the thoughts that we have um being just something about the thoughts that we have. I mean, if you're so mad at somebody, you're thinking, I want to kill. I don't mind if they're. I don't care if they die. That's good with me. You know. I wouldn't care if they left this planet. I think at some point of our lives, we've all had that thought, like we despised someone so much we wouldn't care if they left this planet somehow. And it's like, how is that any different? I mean, of course it's different. But the energy behind it is kind of the same, isn't it? Of someone who's actually committing the act versus your desire for it to happen to someone. Um and it's like you may only know one side to that person, and the side that you see you don't like. So you're just okay with them, not living on this planet anymore because the experience you've had with them was so bad. Gosh, golly. This is like when they interview the family members of serial killers, and the wife or the children are like, he seemed like a good dad to me, or she was like a good wife to me. I had no idea. Now they could be in like true self-denial, or they just never saw that side of them. People show the side that they want people to see. Be honest with yourself. So, are we actually being fake when we're acting a certain way to certain people? Or are we just not being our full selves with them? So, unconditional love is about loving yourself to the point that even your terrible thoughts, you still love yourself. You're still worthy of love. And if you can love yourself for the horrible thoughts that you have and for the wonderful thoughts that you have, then everyone else is worthy of love too. It doesn't seem like a convincing argument. How can I love someone who murdered my family member is what is the question I'm getting. Why is this going in this direction? I guess because this is part of unconditional love. You have to get through this egoic phase to love the condition. You have to understand why we put conditions on love. Why do we decide who is worthy of being loved? Why are we not worthy of being loved just by being human? Just by being born and being here on earth. You immediately love a baby, don't you? You don't look at the baby and go, "Oh, you're not worthy of being loved." I mean, some people do, and that's very conditional love. Some parents take one look at a baby and go, "Oh, no." You know why? There's many reasons why, but I'm getting, for one, that the baby reminds the parent of the responsibility that they chose to have, you know, that they chose by having this baby. And all of a sudden the responsibility hits, and it's like your mind and body's not catching up to the reality of it all. Postpartum is a real thing. It's just you not catching up with your body yet. You not catching up with your body yet. Or your body's not catching up with you yet. I'm not sure. There's a lag there. And sometimes it takes years for someone to 11:17 on the clock, for someone to get to the point where they feel they can actually love their child. But you know what? Oh, this is beautiful, you guys. This is so beautiful. So a lot of moms with postpartum continue to take care of their child the best way they can because they know they have to. And is that not unconditional love? When even though looking at the baby just reminds them of everything they hate about themselves or about the world, or I don't know what postpartum actually is. I've never had it before, but it's just like this precious creature, and yet you have no desire to spend time with it, and it just reminds you of something so sad. It's like someone here focusing on the loss of the life they had before, and it's like you're putting all the blame into the child instead of taking responsibility. So there's taking responsibility has something to do with unconditional love. Wow. But exactly, it's like I feel the mom and the dad here who, even though they are wide-eyed, like don't know what the heck they're doing, just in this depressive state because now their lives are completely different. They keep showing up though as parents, and that to me is unconditional love. Because even though you're not doing the best job as a parent because you're dealing with postpartum, you're still showing up as a parent. So the collective I'm tuning is someone here, still showed up or is still showing up. So that is unconditional love. You created something. You brought life to this world. And you're responsible for it, at least for a little while. Yeah. So sometimes when we bring something into our lives, and when it maybe it doesn't go, maybe it's not all rainbows and butterflies like they pretend it to be, or that you think it is, because that's how you convince yourself to do it anyways. When reality hits, and then you want to push that thing away because it reminds you of the responsibility that you have to do, that you have to have because you chose to go down this road. I don't even think I'm necessarily talking about a baby anymore. I'm talking about anything that you chose to do, that when it finally landed in your lap, you're like, wait, so I have to use my time now taking care of something else instead of doing what I just want to do, Oh, goodness gracious, you guys. I don't know. I told you about my Helleborus plant, and I don't know what happened, but she just wasn't happy where she was anymore and started to really die. And I watered her. She came back to life. And then I was like, you're just not happy here. I don't know what to do to make you happy. And it's like, I know I should plant her, but it still seems so cold outside to plant something. And so I thought maybe I needed to wait till March. but I don't know if she'll last till March. And so just now, I put her outside on my back porch, and the wind just blew her off. And I was just thinking how I'm literally looking at the thing that the energy is talking about. I brought that plant into my home. It became my responsibility to take care of it. And now when I don't know what to do and she's not happy, I all of a sudden am like, I'm just going to stick you outside and see if that, it's like I didn't take the time to try to listen to her. And now she's fallen off the porch, literally right here on this reading. So some responsibility that you've been shirking is what I'm hearing, skirting, is falling. There's something about falling. There's that trust fall. I will say though, where she fell is where I was thinking about planting her. So maybe she just went ahead and did the trust fall for me. So maybe where I'll see where she lands and see if that's where I want to plant her. Okay, so I feel this energy kind of falling off. I guess we'll get more in the next set of cards. This reading is going on. I will put time steps for the different decks. But I guess that's what the February 17th energy is. Not being afraid to spend time doing something. Not being afraid, I always box my readings into like 30 minutes or less. And it's like, why? And then when I feel the readings going longer, I get stressed. I feel a time crunch. I feel that 3D like devil energy. No, pushing that away, because in this new life, you guys, time is on my side. Time is on my side. Okay, we're going to the darker tarot deck that has like some hints on the pages, on the cards. I don't know what to call this deck. It took me a while to want to use it because the words on the cards were confusing me. I would feel a different energy but see words on the cards that didn't match that energy. So I stopped using it because it was messing with my intuition. But then I learned that I listen to my intuition first, and then I look at the words on the cards to see if it adds any other layer to what I'm receiving. So feels like it goes with what I'm supposed to be asking. So come on, it's there. I can feel it. What I feel something going deeper. So it feels like we're needing to know something on a deeper level. It feels like we're entering the subconscious now. We're entering the subconscious now. So what do we need to know about the subconscious? Okay. Judgment. So our subconscious is going through an awakening. And what did we say just a while ago? Something's coming up. Eggs almost ready to hatch. Something's coming up to the surface. Something's coming up to the surface. Something's been buried deep, 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 and it's coming up with the healing that you're doing. Just got quiet. Hold on. I'm being asked to be in this moment. I hear my wind chime, so the wind is blowing. Very hard for my wind chimes to be playing that loud. I don't know if y'all can hear them or not. They're wanting me to use all my senses. I smell the incense. I'm tasting my coffee. I'm a little chilly, to be honest. So it's a little cold. They want me to cover up to get warm. Well, don't be silly. Cover yourself up if you're cold. That's what I heard. The number 20 is coming here. 40:02 on the timer. 11:27. 2:17. 2:17. We must be traveling. Traveling down. Okay, guys, I'm just gonna take a moment. All right. Okay. What I saw was two horns coming up like this, almost like Loki, like the horns on Loki's helmet. But also but goat horns kind of been backwards, right? These were coming forward. So I think that's more Loki, which is trickster energy. Illusions. Green and black might be significant here. I flipped over the other two cards that came out, and it was the Nine of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, this always gets switched. How do I do that? Oh, wait, no. Okay, weird. So things got a little mixed up there. I'm gonna be honest, this feels very convoluted, very messy, very overwhelming energy. Like there's a lot to know. So somebody go, okay, yes, that makes sense. You who are going through this awakening and something's coming up from your subconscious, it's like whatever this awakening is bringing your attention to so many things all at once that it can be quite confusing and overwhelming. And when that happens, Spirit's saying, hey, when you've had enough, like you have to be the communicator. So when you've had enough, you go, okay, I am very overwhelmed here. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be focusing on. I'm getting way too much input. Can you back off a little bit, just for a little bit until I can get my bearings? It's a very mature way of handling Spirit. You almost have to handle Spirit like you would a child. You have to teach a child how to treat you, what your limits are, what your boundaries are. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting that overwhelming sense of responsibility here. And I knew when I was doing this reading, before I had all these things I needed to do, I knew I was going to feel this way, but I felt so drawn to get on here when I did, and I have to trust it. And that's what you're being asked to do here, is to trust the energy despite or in spite. No. Trust the energy, knowing that your responsibilities will be taken care of as well. That's part of the energy. It's not Spirit going, hey, pay attention to us and only do, healing and growing and spiritual things. It's like, hey, integrate this energy into your responsibilities. And then your responsibilities don't feel so separate from you and like something you have to do. It's like, this is all part of the experience. It's like when you're getting the background knowledge in a book, it's not the most fun part to read, but you need it in order to understand some things later. The numbers 10 and 9, 10. I'm getting like exponential growth here. Like, going from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 16 to 32, 32 to 64. Like how it like grows significantly, but it started off so tiny. 1, 2, 4, 8, you know? And it's like, so there's this phase of growth that you have to get through that seems very little at first. And it's like, okay, there is growth though. But then eventually it's like exponential growth here. There's more. There's more here. Jupiter. Jupiter energy. What's coming up? What's coming up? From this of the start, what's about to poke its little head up? Okay, we got justice reversed. What's about to poke its little head up? Ooh. These are the subconscious things that that are about to poke its head up. But it's because you are ready. Ooh, I sense so much anxiety and fear with this. What is this? And this is different for everybody, but what's coming up is your guilt, your dishonesty with yourself. And remember the other card saying be honest with yourself. So the lies you told yourself, this is the self-punishment. This is the lack of accountability. All that's coming to the surface. The victimhood, the unfairness that you feel. Ooh, yeah. Okay. So what are we to do when that all comes up? And that I'm feeling quite overwhelmed here, guys. With the weight of all of these things, the guilt especially. So we want to clear that out. Okay, I'm also going to wave selenite. And I haven't given myself a selenite bath in a while, which is crazy. Crazy. Oh, I am so going to do that now. Thank you for being patient with me as I do this. Oh, I am one for looks here. Let me just show y'all the my outfit. I don't know if I can back up far enough. I've got on my jammy jams, my tie-dye shirt, and my little old lady shawl here, sweater. I told y'all I came to you in a very raw form. But yeah, let's see. What are we supposed to do when all this comes up? What is the point of this? What is the point? Temperance. Okay. So these things have been dragging you down into your emotional depths. These things have been, this guilt, this, the lies you tell yourself, this self-sabotage, self-punishment, that all drags you down into the depths of your emotions. That's your Mariana Trench down there. And this octopus of all these things with its 8 tentacles kind of grabs you and pulls you down when you start to give into those energies. So temperance comes out to say you've got to maintain being on the surface. How though? Because where does that guilt and shame come from? Is it how you're acting currently? Or is it how you were in the past? Is it from things that you've done in the past that you are trying to correct now and to move forward with your integrity, your honesty, your truth intact. And there may have been things that you've done in your past that you're ashamed of and you feel very guilty about, and you justify what you've done just so you can get through the day without feeling guilty. There's a tremendous amount of guilt here. And it feels like every time you try to come to terms with it, I heard hill. It's like a hill. I'm also getting reminded of a mill, how there's a lathe and a mill. And I didn't know the difference until my husband taught me. But a lathe, the part spins and the tool stays still, right? And in a mill, the part stays still and the tool does all the work. And so I heard Spirit say, be a mill right now. So we are the parts sitting there while we are being worked on. Interesting that that's coming up now. So they're saying if you will just sit, be still, and allow those feelings to come up, knowing that they were feelings attached to something you did in the past. And when they come up, you're like, wait a second. I'm living life now, though, very good. Like, I'm a good person. I love, I try to do the right thing. I try to have you try to live every day being the best version of you that you can, but yet you're holding on to guilt from something you've done in the past. And it's like, whenever that comes up, you're gonna have to train your subconscious now that you are living life. You forgive yourself for what you did. You were a different person back then. You had not learned the lesson back then. You acted on your insecurities and your trauma. You acted from a place of an unhealed version of you. And now you're living from a healed version of you. So whatever this guilt is that you have from the past, in order for you to step into this new life, you've got to release it. You've got to know that now, given the same circumstances, that if you were to be put in that position now, you would act in a totally different way. And there is magic and healing in that. There is growth in that. Think about that. If you were to be put in that situation now, with the healing that you've done, you would act totally different. And that's something they're actually telling me to tell you, is that do that. Put yourself in that situation, not physically, but imagine yourself in that situation, and then respond how you know you would respond now from your healed version. Okay? Beautiful. This is some really, really intense, deep work being done here with the subconscious mind. I'm also getting that subconscious or subliminals might be advantageous to you at this time. I don't know of any that I recommend. I just know you can create your own by recording your voice and just falling asleep to it at night. Or you can trust YouTube if you want. Type in subliminals. But I'm going to be honest, you guys, and I do think that there are channels out there that have the best of intentions, but when it comes to subliminals, I don't know what it's. So there's like a warning, like be careful of when it's out in the public, what you're choosing to subliminally put in your head. There's that choice again. Okay. So the question I have now is, when you're dealing with guilt, okay, so we're going to another deck with this question. When you're dealing with guilt, Do you need to apologize, or do you need to go into cat tarot? Do you need to go to sorry you guys, go, like, let's say you feel bad about something you did to someone in the past. Do you need to contact them and apologize and all that jazz? What's the steps after healing is done? Okay, that's what we want to know. We need to clear some energy out of this deck. Let me... It's been a minute. This is my cat tarot deck. Okay. What do we do after Queen of Cups reversed pops out? Now, it popped out, but then it did like this crazy spin and then landed reversed. I'm getting the colors blue and yellow. So I'm getting that this is a personal journey of yours. And I know that in AA, one of the steps is to ask for forgiveness or to apologize or something to people that you feel you wronged because of your addiction, I guess. I'm not an expert. That may be wrong. Please don't quote me on that. But that's what I feel like I've picked up on over the years. And so this comes off to me with this Queen of Cups reverse, that this is an individual journey that you're on, and involving others by connecting to them and opening up that wound again and apologizing for it. It adds another layer of someone else's emotions that were involved. So what I'm feeling really strongly here is that it's not about them, because when you do the healing work and you forgive yourself, the energy changes in the connection to that person. It now turns from bitterness and resentment and guilt and shame and all that into you were you were something I had to experience in order to learn who I was at the time. And at the time, I did things that my soul didn't like, but I've healed from my trauma's self, and now I act in an authentic, genuine way, and so on and so forth. You can heal that energetic cord through your own healing. You don't need, because you're not in charge of their healing. So if they don't have a good reaction to your apology, they descend further into bitterness and resentment and regret and all that, or whatever, all those feelings. And then it like puts a damper on your healing as well, because you see how upset they are. So basically the answer to, do you need to dredge them back up and say you're sorry? No. You can heal that cord, that energetic tie, by doing your own healing to yourself, forgiving yourself, knowing that you're a different person now. Okay, what else? Two of Cups, Five of Cups, so much cup energy, and Temperance again. Two of Cups, Five of Cups, and then Temperance. Okay, let me look at this for a second. We've got the number 14 here, 2, 5, 7. Oh, there's that 7 and then 14. So there's that like exponential growth there. Two of Cups being that balance within yourself, really looking at your shadow, which is where the guilt and all that comes from, and going, okay, you served your purpose. I've now healed from that. Let's move forward. Can we be friends now? Can we work together now? Five of Cups being realizing through all of that energy that there are some energies that you're not going to be around anymore. My ears are really warm right now for some reason. So it's like they're needing me to listen. And I was asked to listen a while ago, but I feel like this reading is going to go on forever. So I'm going to pause and see what I come back with. 1 hour and 17 on the timer. 1:00:17. So those zeros feel significant here, like an in-between time. So I'm about to put you in an in-between time because I'm going to pause and see what I get by listening. Okay, so what I got was when I sat still, I was very drawn to the Five of Cups. And as I looked at it closer, it seemed like I was getting like mad scientist vibes, like when they have body parts in a jar inside of a liquid. And then I realized that this is all the things that you are ashamed of put away in some kind of jar with a liquid that is preserving them. Yeah, you're still preserving these. Is that a good thing to do? Because I'm getting that, like, those gross jars with yellow, like, formaldehyde or whatever it's called. And then, like, eyeballs and heads and thumbs and toes and feet. Just kind, and it's like, why? Ugh, it's not. And with Temperance coming out again, it's like, I just see pouring it down the drain. Oh, like the Temperance is pouring, the cups. So there's something here about pouring this out, letting it die. You don't need to save these. They're past their prime. You don't need that to remember all the things that you're guilty and shame. And it's like someone here. Woo! When a sneeze comes out of nowhere, that is a huge energetic release. Particularly spiritual energetic release here. So you've been trying to say, someone here believes that you remember these things to keep you humble. My reaction to that is that that's an excuse to limit you. That's something your ego and your trauma tells you that you need to do. You don't need to stay humble because of those things. Yes, they're part of your experience in the past, but that's not why you should hold back from anything for the future. And it feels like they've been holding you back, not helping you stay humble. That feels like an excuse to me. Okay. So yeah, get rid of all the things that you've like compartmentalized, that you hold anger and guilt and bitterness and shame and all that from, and just, that was your past. You're moving ahead. You're good where you're at. You're a different person now. You accept who you are now. You accept who you were back then. It was all little pieces of the puzzle coming into place. So yeah, let's move on to the next deck. Midnight Magic Mushrooms. A tarot deck of mushrooms. So this is growth. Yep, that's why I felt drawn to get the tarot deck of mushrooms. This is lovely. This deck just, and again, here comes mushrooms. Yeah. This deck just so makes me feel alive. It makes me feel connected. And that's the energy I feel moving forward. Connection, aliveness, you know. I love how some people have been referring to dying as being unalived. Because dying sounds so negative and unalived sounds better for some reason. Six of Pentacles. Yes, since you are healing. I didn't even ask a question, you guys. I just know these are messages for moving forward. And to moving forward involves the Prince. That's for some of you. But also I'm getting just that now that you're in a healed place, you're able to share. You're able to share your knowledge. You're able to share what you've learned. You're able to give the love that you now have for yourself. How exciting is that? Because the act of forgiveness is one of the highest forms of self-love. When you truly in your soul forgive someone, highest form of self-love there. Almost. I don't know. It just feels like it's a really high form of self-love. So yeah, forgiveness. The sun, look how bright and beautiful that is. Golden oyster mushroom. Oysters. You know, oysters are, aren't they an aphrodisiac? Yeah. So something that, what is an aphrodisiac? Something that like gets you, it gets the hormones going that make you feel alive and sexy and sensual. Rockefeller oysters, that's it. So the root chakra and the solar plexus is coming through here. I'm also getting the Latin language. Maybe someone here, I all of a sudden got like spell casting in Latin. Interesting. And then this golden oyster mushroom. Gold has been coming through lately. So that's this is the energy moving forward. The sun, the Six of Pentacles. And now we have the mother flipping Empress. My goodness. And there's that 111 again. Just synchronicity after synchronicity. Hen of the woods. This is mama. This is mama bear, mama chicken. She's up here. She is the one, the matriarch. I'm getting the fairy from Fern's Gully. Thank you. The older lady, the older matriarch, I think she's just like the head of the fairies or whatever of the forest, and she wears like this very billowing dress, and it looks very much like that. But I am getting that she eventually, when she fades away, she uses all of her magic to protect the forest, the tree that they, you know, the sacredness of the forest. She uses her very last energy of herself doing that, but she doesn't just fade away. She becomes part of everything. Four of Wands. Yes, she becomes part of everything. So this is you totally dissolving. Oh, wow. That's the sacrifice. That's the sacrifice, you guys. I've been getting the message that a sacrifice has to be made in order to reach full self-actualization. And it's the sacrifice of the ego. It's completely letting the ego go and entering the world of unconditional love. And the Four of Wands here just confirms that you don't marry your ego here. You're actually divorcing your ego and you're marrying yourself here. This is the marriage. This is a full recognition of self. being on top. Being on top. That's what we have to look forward to. How amazing is that? Strength. Yeah, you gotta have strength to be on top. Look at those stairs you had to climb. You know? This is where strength lies, though. It doesn't feel like you're having to force yourself to be strong. This is just you being strong. It's you, who you are. Leo energy there. I'm getting masculine energy from the sun, feminine energy from the Empress, fire energy, the Hermit. I immediately heard protection. The future involves less people. Let's be real here. The future for where you're going involves less interaction with people. Really? Artist's conch. Oh, they want you to look at that. This is not being afraid to go within now. It's like once you've released the ego and you've forgiven yourself for things you've done in the past and you truly have let it go and forgiven yourself and you no longer hold any kind of attachment to those emotions anymore. It's like you're not afraid to reflect on things. You're not afraid to tell people like, hey, I've got to take a step back for a second. I'll be back, but I gotta chill for a second. It's like you're not gonna be afraid to say that anymore. You don't care if people take it personally and it's 1:11:49 on the timer there. 1:11 again, being the 111, the Empress. You're not afraid to set boundaries and to take the space that you need to reconnect to spirit. Ace of Cups reversed. You are a reflection of, you are a gauge for people with how much love they have for themselves. When you interact with people, you trigger them. And because you are someone who feels emotions in the past, this has triggered you. Because you never want anyone to be upset with you. But I see you letting that go. I see you going, if they're upset with something I did or said, then that is something in them that's being triggered. You know, it's when our emotions cause us to feel things for people that cause us to judge them or be bitter towards them or resent them, then we have a lack of self-love. And so because you're someone who has transcended the ego and forgiven yourself and healed, you're a healer, then you now are a mirror for everyone you come into contact with. So some people look in the mirror and go, oh my gosh, I'm beautiful. And they look at you as being beautiful, as a beautiful person. Some people go, oh, that's ugly. But they're seeing the ugliness within them, and so they see you as ugly. And I'm using ugly and beautiful to encompass light and dark, positive, negative. I'm labeling, but there's no label on this energy. It's just a mirror. They are going to see in you, because you're a mirror, they're going to see in you what they have in them. And it may not be like the exact reflection of what they have in them, but it's going to be some caveat of what they have in them that they don't like about themselves. You're a mirror. That's your responsibility as the Empress. being a mirror and being able to hold so true with you that you don't allow people's reactions to your mirror affect you. And that's why you have to hermit sometimes. It's not that you're running away. It's not that you are cowering. It's that you are protecting your energy. Page of Pentacles. Beautiful. Hedgehog mushroom. How cool is that? And that green pearl. I'm getting the heart here. The Knight of Pentacles. We've got white truffle. I don't know if you've ever had a truffle. It's a very earthy taste. But man, it's so good. Try a truffle pizza one time. Just try it. And then the 10 of Pentacles. We just got 3 pentacle cards here. Very earthy energy. Umami flavor is what I'm getting. You guys, okay, they're wanting me to take my time again. I'm getting potato. If you're a Lord of the Ring fan. I wouldn't consider myself a Lord of the Ring nerd, but I'm definitely drawn to the story. The characters, just all of it. And of course I have my dice that has that Lord of the Rings. Okay, my right pec is itching, which is the masculine. Now my right crown is itching. Masculine. Crown, heart. So your heart is learning. Okay, so the masculine side of you is learning to feel to learn to navigate the world with your heart. It's been a long time coming. Okay. Oh, they were like, you have a guidebook if you're stuck. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Does it tell us who is what? No? Okay, I just have to find it. The Pentacles. The Pentacles. Where are you, Pentacles? There we are. Okay, Page of Pentacles. So this is practicality, studious, loyal, skills develop quickly for those who put in the time. There's that exponential energy, I feel. Study earnestly and commit to a purpose. Tap into childhood lessons. Just smartly maneuver through initial tangles of a developing plan. Feel free to turn to the tried and true basics, going back to basics. Yeah. Okay, the Knight, or the 10 of Pentacles is right here. Familial stability, ancestry, legacy. This card represents a metaphorically or fiscally rich family life with strong ancestral respect. A commendable legacy is yours thanks to your diligent work. Celebrate your long-term satisfaction with your loved ones. It's been a long time coming, you guys. And that's what the Knight of Pentacles is saying. It's been a long time coming that you are finally embracing your inheritance from your ancestors. And that was their message to you. Like, hey, yes, you're finally receiving this. So I'm going to clean this up. And then we have one more deck that I want us to go into. And that is this deck right here. This is another tarot deck that has the like clues on it. But it has this beautiful imagery on the back here. Very cosmic, very astrological, planetary. There we go. I've been seeing the shape like a lowercase y lately, and it's been jumping out to me, and I'm going to look it up. I've been trying not to use my phone, but they're very strongly suggesting that I look up what a lowercase y means symbolically. I've been feeling a push to get away from technology, not get away, but like use it way less than I do. So I subscribed to ChatGPT, y'all. I mean, I was using it daily and I unsubscribed. This is the first time I've used it in a couple of days now. And it feels good. It feels good to rely on my own inner wisdom and intuition about things. But there are just some things that I feel pushed to use it for, to gain knowledge from the ethers, you know? Okay, so of course in math, y can be an unknown variable. Okay, so it's a fork shape. So diverging into two paths. One grounded root and then two, oh, interesting, like a tree. So integration, choice, we've been talking about choices. Duality merging into unity. Heaven connecting to earth. It's like a tiny tree or a channel. Where does it stem from? The symbol. Is it an astrological symbol or a rune? Not a tune, a rune. A rune. Okay. Okay. The letter Y comes from the Greek letter upsilon. Upsilon came from the earlier Phoenician letter Y, which originally represented a W sound. Over centuries, Phoenician, which then went to Greek, which then went to Latin, which then went to the English Y. The rune connection, though, the Algiz rune looks like an uppercase Y with extra energy at the top. No, astrological. Isn't there a constellation that looks like a Y? Virgo. Let me see. Yeah, Virgo is the shape of. Okay, so this is very Virgo energy that I'm getting. Virgo, thank you. Gosh, I should have just asked the question. Okay, so there is a message there about being specific. Look how much time that took. Oh, I'm sorry, but moving on. Last deck, and our question is obviously relating to astrology and our sign, and so our connection to the cosmos. That's what I want to ask about. Our connection to the cosmos. We've got 6 of Cups, which is Scorpio. So our connection to the cosmos is through our childhood memories, returning to one's roots, the heart chakra, playfulness, your inner child. Connecting to your inner child connects you to the cosmos. So bringing out your inner kid. Okay, what else? Strength, Leo, which is my astrological sign. The number 8. Look at that fieriness. Ooh, I love it. It's orange, sacral. I'm getting solar plexus here, though. The sun. This is sun energy. Inner strength. So being your strong, authentic self connects you. How you handle conflict. Five of Wands. How you handle conflict. Having strength and integrity in handling conflicts. Confidence, control, overcoming self-doubt. This is the throat chakra. Being able to speak what you feel in the moment. To say your raw feelings. The Chariot. This is Gemini energy. Also the throat. This is overcoming obstacles, being successful in conflict, having the self-discipline, being the bigger person, moving on from conflict that doesn't feel aligned to you, maintaining balance in your life. Okay, we got 4 cards that slid out here, and that feels like where we'll probably end. Endings, defeat, 10 of Swords. Yeah, this is finally putting to rest what no longer serves you. These are people that no longer fit in your timeline. They no longer fit in your energy, and you'll see that they just fade away. They're not going where you're going, and so they fade away. They're not able to do the growing because they choose not to, so they fade away because you're not staying down with them. No way. No way. Yeah, there's definitely people that I feel a collective here with a poverty wound. So you feel like you may have lost something in this, in this 10 of Swords energy. You feel like there's a loss here, but really it's just coming back to balance with the 6 of Pentacles. It's interesting that the 6 of Cups came out, and then we had the 6 of Pentacles. So 6 here is a very important number. And then we have Scorpio energy with Death, that number 13 being very big in your face. 6, and then the Chariot being a 7 equal 13. This Death is the ending. It's the start of a new beginning. It's not the ending. I feel the ending has happened. It's now a start to a new beginning. So basically, we're coming to a full circle moment here at 1:27:55 on the timer, of a new life, leaving old energies behind, knowing that that's all about balancing things back out. We've got Libra energy there. This is also tapping into your heart that's now been healed and is able, you know, you don't have to give yourself in order to give love. So there's a message right at the end here that some people think in order to be a good friend or a good family member that you have to physically be present. And no, if they are a toxic presence, then the best thing you can do is give love distantly. To send love energetically, distantly, and not be in their toxic energy. That's okay. So if you feel like you've lost a friend or a spouse or a boyfriend or girlfriend or a family member or, just a pet or, just something that, if you feel like you've lost them, then send them love. Because that's where you're at in life. Send them love. And they can choose to reciprocate or not. And that's not up to you, and you can't control that, okay? So, we are going to end there. I think that this gave us a really good indication of where our energy is heading and what to look forward to for this new year of the fire horse. So I hope this helps look into the energies a little bit. Yes, some difficult emotions are about to come up for you or are coming up for you. And this is your chance to heal those. This is your chance to know that you've grown and that you're no longer that person. So know that, and where you're headed is your divine balanced self. Okay. The Empress came forward, not the Emperor. So this is definitely more targeting your feminine energy. So yeah, that's where our creativity, our nurturing, our compassion, our intuition, our yeah, where it all resides. Pull that up. Pull that up. Okay. All right. I love you guys so much. And if you want me to continue long readings like this, let me know. This seems like a little long, to be honest. I'm surprised my laptop hasn't stopped recording from running out of space. So I definitely will be using timestamps. And yeah, I think we should just stop here. Love you.